So hi there everyone and welcome along. I hope you've had a great week.
I've already done it with Wix. Let me show you how it's done. I mean, I'm going to need to put these, I can't see without them. Just go to Wix.com. There are loads of absurdly gorgeous templates to choose from. Guys, this could take a while. First.
So I've had a great week myself. I'm just getting ready to rumble again, which is perfect time to for us all to get together. And I hope you've been painting and doing all of your own stuff this week and getting to grips again with this loose style. Now it's a temperamental beast sometimes for some of us. Hi there, Judy. Welcome along from Pennsylvania. I hope it's well, I presume we're getting up towards midday in the US at the moment, but we are 2 minutes past 7 in the evening, so we're quite. I've just let my cake and tea settle, and now we're all ready to get a little bit of painting done. So here we go. The theme this week I've called Vase of Lightness. What a beautiful title. Wrote that all myself. The spelling may have been a bit off, but the actual lettering was very loose and fluid, like everything else in my life. So hi there, Janet from Lancaster. Welcome along. I hope you're doing well there. Hi there, Sue. 2 o'clock in DC. Good gracious me. Oh, it's the world's a big place. I must get a dog and go for a walk around the world very soon. But obviously, being English, I need to be back at 3 o'clock in time for tea. Absolutely perfect timing. But needless to say, tradition does hold a place in my life. So here we go. Let's just move that out of the way. Let's just keep everything focused. And we're ready to rumble. So there we go, Peter the Pencil. Great guy. He turns up all the time and he does the job. Great thing about propelling pencil, may seem silly, but it's actually quite beneficial. The actual lead in this one is a 0.7 millimeter. Very thin, but actually in the realms of things. Hi there, Vicky. You made it back to Dallas. That's great. So I hope you're sitting comfortably. Last time you were sitting just next to me, but now we're a little bit apart, but we're together again. So I hope your journey was fairly untraumatic on the way back. So pencils, yeah. Great thing about a propelling pencil, that never really occurred to me for a long time, but it's actually a fixed width all the time. Whereas with a pencil, you've either got a sharp tip when it's first sharpened, and then when it gets over its sort of optimum bit in the middle, it gets all blunt again, and then so you got to sharpen again. And the great thing about the propelling one is it's fixed width all the time, so you don't have that little problem. So hi there, Marianne. Good morning to you. Welcome along. And Pat, welcome, guys. Oh, you're flooding in. And Louise, how are you? I've got my glasses on specially today. They may slip down my nose, but as you know, I will look over them and then push them back up, because that's always put a little bit of butter on my nose just to help that happen. So there we go, guys. Loose pencil. And in fact, Vicky, this one may be appropriate for you, as well as everyone else, but I know this was one thing you would have liked to have done while we were there. So I'm going to do a little square for a start, chopping down the page, little dots to help me get everything fairly accurate. Then absolutely, Marianne, 4 eyes are better than 2. It's quite a quite profound statement. We're full of philosophy on this loose channel. So little line going across, put little dots outside of the perimeter, and that will give you a guide all the way through. So hi there, Jodie, Gail, welcome along, guys. Hi, Liz. Yes, Liz, I can see your message. Hi, welcome along, guys. Extending that a little bit, and then I'm going to have another little line coming down this way. I'll let you guess what it is, and I'll give you one clue. It's not a tomato, And also, second thing I'll dispel, it's not a tomato. A tomato or tomato, it's neither of those. It's a tomato. It's a tomato. No, it's... Anyway, I'm in one of those moods, guys, you may have guessed. So hi there, Jenny from St. Evenage. That is a fabulous place. I'm gonna get myself a little bike and bike down to St. Evenage to see if it's changed from Stevenage, the old money. So there we've got some little shapes at the top of the hill. Oops, dear. Can't keep a secret, can not for long. So very basic shapes, nothing much at all. Wobbling, or purposefully wobbling the pencil around, because it gives you that loose, vibrant shape that really is very beneficial. Nothing's too untoward. It gives you that extra oomph without being very specific. Okay, there we go, guys. Very simple drawing. Hope you can see that where you are. Hi there, JC. Welcome along. Got all the image on there, and we're going to start with this gentleman here, Dangerous Dave. Absolutely fabulous guy. He does a lot of good work for me. He's an absolute brick. So I'm going to start with Dangerous Dave and just put some water on for a start in the top part of the painting. Then I'm going to go for cerulean blue, just dragging this across. Again, the great thing with Dangerous is he flips about, so he can actually dance over the area and not be too bogged down. I can get little white lines in the area quite easily without having to twist and turn all of the time. So getting this on, a little bit of cobalt blue, that one there. Then that's going to bleed. So I'll start things off. But I don't finish them. Let these bleed. I can keep an eye on it, so I get things going all the way throughout the actual process. In fact, I'm going to put a little bit more here. Just little shapes. Like I say, the wobbliness, try that, because really when we do a drawing, we're always, however hard we try, we're always very specific about it. So it's good to just allow those shapes, throw some lines on, and then you'll have a variation of lines to pick from, in a sense. So hi there, Sarah. Hope you're well in London, and I hope the book world is going well. Hi, Cynthia, as well from Utah. Really good of you guys all to meet up again together, and the Welsh ladies, obviously. The Welsh ladies, I don't know if you've heard of them, guys, but a fabulous bunch of loose watercolourists who are producing some phenomenal work in Wales, and now they're producing it all over the country. So I've got this on, guys, letting it bleed around, and now I'm going to get on with some, let's go for a little bit of sap green. Get on, Mr. Dave, and say sap green, yeah, sap green. Just dragging that on in the direction of the object. Throwing it on, really almost feel like you're throwing a bucket of paint on, as opposed to being very specific and trying to aim for certain objects all of the time. Got that on. Then we're just going to throw on a little bit with this lady. I don't know if you know this lady, if you've not met her before. It's Miss Rigger, internationally famous Miss Rigger. She's travelled the world. Well, the stem and the metal bit, and then the bristles from somewhere else. So she came together as an amalgamation of different bits from all over the world. So Miss Rigger doing a little dance down the side here, throwing this on. And then the beauty of this sort of idea is the negative painting. So the shapes I want to retain, I'll just pick out at a given moment, and that moment has just been given. Throwing this on again, little shapes. And then placing Miss Rigger just down, dabbing her down, and throwing more on. So we're getting in quite a big melee of bleeding going on. So just under that, a little bit more flora and fauna, but just in a lighter sense. There we go, that's just all building up quite nicely in the top yon corner. Now we've got a little bit of, well, it's actually ST, this is called ST. So this is straight tissue. There it is, it's not torn, it's straight. But it gives me a nice little edge to actually pick out some little lines of direction. Picking those out, that's sort of dampened off some area, and it allows me to pop back in. And it almost speeds up the drying time of that particular area of the paper. So throwing it down, and again, but the lines I'm putting down are the negative shapes around the object and not painting the actual object itself. So daubing on. That's not a horse, that's a description of how I apply the paint. Throwing it all about. Sometimes I do the okey cokey and I turn around, but I don't know if you know, that's what it's all about. Lifting off, getting a nice little light feel there. So got all that on. So we're going to pop back with Dangerous Dave. I'm going to throw some water on again. Again, direction of the object. Rolling down the hill. And big strokes, yeah. Just be brave with your painting, that's the thing. You know, I know we keep saying to ourselves, it's only a bit of paper and all this sort of thing, but mentally you've just got to let go with it a bit. You've just got to make those marks, because when you've got something on the paper, you can actually work against it. You can consider it and see if it's working for you. But when you're being quite tentative about the whole project, then that's when you'll always be on a bit of a losing battle. Because imagine if you put everything on too tentatively, you go back and then you try and add to it, so you're doubling up your pigment application, you're losing control of everything almost straight away. So try and be brave. And be brave on non-important things. So get a bit of paper and just throw the paint on without an expectation of the painting. Don't even have a theme, don't even have a particular drawing. Just let it roll about and see where it goes. Why do they paint numbers on the sheep in Scotland, Mary? I'm not terribly sure, but I'm sure there's a reason. Maybe you could enlighten us. Right, a little bit of cobalt blue just under this fella here. And really I'm thinking about these as shadow colours. and negatively picking out the shape as we go. Now green's getting richer in this corner. We're trying to keep this shape nice and on an angle going down the hillside. Not with a hippie hat on. There we go, long shadows. Very good, Marianne, very good. Just getting these shadows on, quite important, while it's still wet. And the fun you can have with throwing on the pigment when it's wet and just flowing like this. So I'm using the Dangerous Dave now in two ways to get the big stuff on, flipping him round. He doesn't mind. And then I get the smaller, almost akin to the work that Miss Rigger does, lines just dragged on. So you've got a doubled up brush there that works really nicely. A little bit of ultramarine blue in the bottom here. And again, more shadow. So it's quite a deep suggestion of how the shadows are working here. Now we have that. Stevenage is producing some fabulous artists of late, and also they're producing some fabulous jokes down there as well. I am moving tomorrow. I am moving tomorrow. Excellent, Jenny, excellent. Okay, so got that on, guys. Again, a little bit of straight tissue, pick off a few little lines, dampen it down a bit, tilting it round as we go. There we go. Let's move this down a bit. So I can let that just float around a little bit as well. So the last thing I really want to do is actually the sheepy guys. So I don't want to do those too early. They're just going to bleed off. So I'm going to go back to the forest. Almost sounds a little bit ominous, but it's not. It's an appropriate place to dwell. So Miss Rigger, little line work and placing down. Dragging the colour nice and rich. And again, just shaping. So again, always use the benefit of the angles of your brush all of the time. Don't just use it face on and just one direction. Like the boy band. I don't know if they're still together One Direction, but they could bring out a range of maybe watercolour brushes. Maybe change the name slightly, and there you go. So we're picking out some shapes, getting the paint on, and then pushing it about. So all rolling about, doing its own thing. Just water on the brush now, just to extend this a little bit beyond. And then shaping the bottom of this as well. So you just get a few little suggestions of trees jumping out of the background there. And a little bit at the foreground. Again, dragging this down, allowing some of the background colour to bleed in. I think I'll go for a little stronger colour to double it up, so I'm going for ultramarine. Just along this back edge to bleed into the sort of second wave of foliage at the front there. So, all floating about, doing its own, finding its own way, really. That's what it is. I suppose it's a bit like the sheep. they're sorting themselves out on the hillside, so we can sort ourselves out with the watercolours. Dabbing that on, breaking it up a bit. So, yeah, we're still fairly wet. So obviously when you get a big area there of liquid, be it whatever, be it pigment or be it the initial water you placed on, it's going to take longer to dry. So you can almost see the not so much the complications, but the things that you need to consider when you're doing a bigger painting, because the amount of water is going to buckle more, cockle, whatever you call it in your area, but it's going to go up and down, and the liquid's going to gather at the bottom, and at the top of the hill it's going to dry quicker. So you just need to keep that in mind all the way through the actual process. So got that on. I think the little sheep is at the back. I'm going to go for a little bit of gold ochre on Miss Rigger. This is very liquid pigment. I'm just going to dab this on, just very light, and build up the suggestion of the curve of the fleece. That's what I'm after. I think you'd never think you'd say, I'm going to do the curve of the fleece. Almost sounds like a thriller. So we just put it on for a start. Then I'm going to put a little bit of cerulean blue in as well. Just drop that in. Little dabs there. But tiny marks. It's very easy to throw too much on that you don't actually need. So again, let it float about, do its own thing. And then we'll do the little guys at the front. Think about where your light's coming from. So I'm suggesting it's over here, coming from the right. So it's going to be the back of sheet number 7, Jennifer. Sheet number 7. So that was 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, and 6 have run off. I've not sorted the fence out yet. So sheet number 7 is in position. Hi there, Heather. Welcome along. I hope you're having a great day. We're doing sheep on a hill. We met in it was actually sunny Wales most of the time. We had a little bit of rain, but most of the time it was sunshine. So gold ochre, very weak strength, just rolling this in the shape of the object, i.e. the body. So I'm rolling it around the body to pick up that shape and give you that that feel of sheepiness, really. That's what it is. Got that on. A little bit of a mix of Indian red and cerulean blue. I'm just going to roll this around. And again, first touch will tell you the colour, how it's going. So a little bit more Indian red in there. But I'm working from the bottom up, the bottom of the sheep, not the bottom of the sheep, if you get what I mean. Just little taps, because this is wet, and now circling it around the body shape. And that just gradually picks up the outline of the sheep. Just rolling this one around, same thing. But again, think where the light's coming from. Opposite direction. Over the hill. A bit like some of my jokes. But I will rebuild them. And I will use them again. Little dots and dashes. And again, you can see the actual drying time. So now I'm placing this on, and it's not bleeding as far in certain areas. So that gives you that nice variation of marks just by gauging, and that's easily done, the take of the paper, how far it's going to bleed. Absolutely, Heather, that's a very good point. Any day you can play with paint is a good day. because it's so so rewarding. That's what it is. The challenge is there at your fingertips, which is a great thing. And the challenge is you're challenging yourself initially, because you've got to be your own judge and jury, and then you'll be challenged maybe by other people's opinions if you choose to have them, but you don't necessarily need to do that. We've all got the different levels of what we want to do. Hi there, Sabrina, and hi there, Terry. Welcome along. Janet, quick question from Janet. Hi, Janet. I did say hello earlier. It's always great of you to join us, and you join us every week without fail. So my art background, I started off by doing well, I've always painted, but I didn't go into art until a little bit later. So I tried a few other careers, and I was spectacularly unsuccessful at the other careers. So I thought, this isn't really for me. So then I went back to art college, and I studied there, and I became initially I went in to be a botanical illustrator. So it was very, very tight, detailed work, and which I enjoyed, and I really learnt some skills with that. But then I went into art studios, and then I was in advertising for a little while, and then I went back into art studios, and then I went independent, and then I got myself an art agent, and I worked on books for a long time. So I worked through an agency, working on a variety of books, and I worked for quite a while with the daughter of a lady called Enid Blyton. So you may have heard of her if you are in the UK. She was quite a prolific children's author or authoress. So I worked with her daughter for quite a long time on quite a few of their characters, and also for the BBC I did a bit there as well. So that's not the BBC, the television company, that's BBC, the Bacon Butty Company. So no, it was the BBC, so I did stuff with them. And then I actually, yes, book illustration. And then I actually came to the crossroads, which a lot of people come to in painting, and actually thought, is this what I want to do? Is this the style I really want to do? And I thought, no, it wasn't. So this is where I went off on my discovery, individual discovery of loose watercolour painting. That's the thing that really attracted me, and that's what I wanted to do. So I, like you guys, had to start from scratch. So with all that wealth of painting knowledge, as it were, from a lot of different areas, not a great deal of it was helpful in a loose style, which is strange. But I had to almost start from scratch again, and I spent quite a while. But then it started to make sense, and then one day, literally just one day, it all made sense, and I could actually work out how to do it, which is very strange, but that's really my little art story. So now I paint every day, and I love painting every day, and I never tire of it, which again is quite strange, because after painting for a number of years and becoming a little bit jaded with it, I suddenly found my mojo again for painting. So this is why I'm so enthusiastic about it, because it brings me so much pleasure, and I know that you can all do it, and I know that with a little bit of patience and a bit of info, and that was the thing I couldn't find, good information that got me loose. So anyway, enough of my ramblings, but that's the story. So I've actually been on the same journey as you guys are, maybe on now or getting to grips with this. But believe me, if you stick at it, it will work. So, legs on the sheep. Yes, in the loose style, totally self-taught. I worked it out myself, and I spent a long time painting again and again and again and again and again until I worked out how to do it. So hence, now I'll tell you guys. And I'm sure you know when you get a reward in painting, or even a part of a reward in painting, it's so so rewarding. It's just so rewarding. Better than an object, as I say. So there we go, little sheepy legs. What was I doing with Enid Blyton's daughter? Well, sometimes we ate cake, but the rest of the time I worked on a guy called Noddy. So he was a very famous character that Enid Blyton came up with, Noddy and Big Ears and the gang. So they I had to redraw and re-illustrate quite a lot of the early books, really for a modern time. So got all that on, guys. That was just indigo on the legs and face, starting with a little bit of cerulean blue, and that captures the light and then just takes it a little bit darker. So now we've got all that on. Now we want to make sure these sheep don't fall off the hill. So what I'm going to do is run a little bit of water, and really the grass is now dry, or the grass area. I'm going to run a little bit of water under the sheepies and down the hill, and then I can actually add a little bit of dark pigment and a little bit of suggestion of texture, because the closer you are to the object, i.e. we're closer to the sheep at the bottom here than the top ones, the more you can be a bit more vigorous, like that, with the suggestion of, say, grass or movement within the actual grass area. So further away, texture is going to be a little bit lighter and less pronounced. Just I think it's a thing called distance. I don't know who invented distance, but it's great stuff. The idea of the blue, Janet, really is to get away from constantly referring to the colour of the object. As soon as you think it's a grassy hill, you go for green. But the trouble is you run out of green. So it gives some light breaks within the object. Little lines coming down, tapering these round. And Miss Rigger is dancing like Ginger Rogers, I would say. Absolutely Ginger Rogers style today. But again, just be quite coarse and rough with the application. Because when you get fiddly and detailed, I mean, detail is just sensitive approach, which is nice, but in this style, it's once you've got the bedrock of the colour on, you can throw anything on and it comes to life. So again, water to actually loosen it up and move it about. Hi there, Patty, welcome along. You're not late at all. We were just all very early. So but thank you for joining me. Here again at the woodland at the back, I can just lay down with the help of Miss R, some liquid pigment. And then negatively paint again. So by chopping in there, I'm going to pick out some more tips of trees. And shaping around them in a negative fashion. So again, I see comments where people have a little bit of difficulty with the idea of negative painting. The simplest formula I find is to say, paint around the object that you want. Don't paint the object, paint around the object that you want. So you leave the object that you're after, be it the trees or whatever, in relief, and then you fill in the gaps in between. And you can take this negative painting to a nth degree, wherever the nth degree is. I think it's very close to the 1th degree. They're all very similar places, but you can keep going with negative painting and take it back further and further. But again, we only want a suggestion of objects, that's all. So dropping this on, little dots and dashes again, little marks at the front that the eye will settle on. And again, and there we go, little bits and bobs. So any suggestions for a little song this week, folks? I don't know if you've got anything in mind, if I can do it, or have a go. Let's say have a go at it, that's more the thing. Rather than do it, then you can all join in, and wherever you are in the world, we can make it a brighter place for a few moments, or even more, when we've got a little song on the go. Ah, very good motion, Heather, very good motion. My word. So you only just got notification, guys. I'll look into this. This is a, I shall have a word with Google, who were very, always easy to talk to. So that's a shame. I think I put the notification on, guys, at least a day and a half ago. So that's I'll look into another method and see if I can improve on that for you. So there we are, guys. Really, we've got everything on there. We don't want to fiddle about too much. It's so easy just to get dragged in and start fiddling about too much. So every so often, get up and have a walk around, because it breaks the concentration and it allows you to get some perspective, literally, on the scene. So final little bit on a few of these. There we go. Drop that on. She loves you. That's Jenny Foles. You for Stevenage. You're very funny. Yes. So what I would do, guys, is take it as read that it will be 7 o'clock on a Tuesday at the moment for the foreseeable, and then yeah, 7 o'clock on a Tuesday. If the notifications don't come through, just have a little look and see if I'm kicking about there. Right, okay, so there's that one settling down, guys. I think quite a nice effect, and the dramatic lines over the hill. It's not a monster, but it's a direction of the actual curvature of the hill. The eye led into the image, and then you've got the forest in the background, so you've got quite a bit of depth there, and all comes to avail. But again, change your colours around. Putting the cerulean blue on there just lifts it out. It's not just a blanket of green, which is a bit too heavy all the time. There's too many you jokes. Is it you or is it me? That's what I say. No, it's you. It's you. It's had to be you. Okay, guys. So there we are. We'll have a little rest there. I'll see if I can find a little song to do. Now then, you belong to me. You are. We're on a roll. We're on a roll. Ren. What about that? So we've got that on, guys. And me fishing about for flock around the clock. You must have a book there, Jennifer. Bar Black Sheep, absolutely. So okay. Anyway, we might not do one with the sheep's name in it for the sake of we might run out of ideas. Let me have a little think. See what I've got. 1 second, guys. On my little walk. Right, okay, I've just got some little songs. Lady Barber, absolutely. So, let's see what I've got for you. In the old lucky bag, shooting and a rootin' on a tootin'. Right. Okay, I'll try this one, if you don't mind, if you'll indulge me. So this one is by a British group called. This one's by a British group called Oasis. Yeah, I don't know if there's any sheep connotations whatsoever, but let's give this one a try. So this one is Wonderwall. So maybe it reached your part of the world at one point, but today we'll have a little go ourselves and see if we can sing this one together. So if you're ready, guys, this is Wonderwall by Oasis and the Gallagher brothers. Okay. Today's gonna be the day when they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure you heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the road we have to walk winding, and all the world they're blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how. 'Cause maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonderwall. Today's gonna be the day that they'll never throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you're not to do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the road we have to walk winding, and all the lights that lead you there were blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you. I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how. 'Cause maybe gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonderwall. There you go, guys. A little bit of a tune. Ah, Wonder Wool. Nice one, Sarah. Liking it. Liking it. Wonder Wool. Why didn't we think of that one before we did it? So there you go, guys. A little bit of a tune and a little bit of a sheep-filled hill, maybe in Wales or maybe somewhere else. So give that one a go. I'm going to set this one up as the weekly challenge, and let's put that on. You can do variations of this. You don't have to follow it exactly, but try and think of the idea of the loose, the application, throw it on, and then things will just happen. And that's where you'll get the joy in painting. That is the place to be. It really does take you to places that you couldn't actually pay for. So thanks again, guys, for joining me. I really do appreciate it. It's been fun as always, and you guys are spectacular. I love your company every week. So just a few quick little notes. Yes, the YouTube channel, the subscription channel, will be closing down in a few weeks' time. Now, it's nothing to do with me. That's YouTube's decision, and they're throwing off anybody with a subscription channel who doesn't do gaming, which is not really what I do. So that's closing in December. So what I'm doing at the moment, hopefully should have it running up next week, I'll have a new website where everything will be on. So I'll have all my tutorials on there, the live show hopefully on there, and a lot of other things as well. So I thought, while I've got the opportunity, I'll make it into something quite useful for everybody that extends a bit beyond what we're doing at the moment. So don't worry about it. I'll keep you informed as what's happening, so you can easily go across if you still want to stay with me on there. Also, the Loose Gang, I've only mentioned it to you guys a little bit, but they're going pretty well. So if you've got an order in with me, please don't worry. I will have them out by the end of the week. So I promise they'll be in by Thursday, I think, this week, and then I can get them all out. And if you are interested, I'll leave the email or my email to just drop me a line under this video, where you can just send me a message, say you're interested in the brushes, and I'll get back to you and have a little chat. And if you're interested in going further, we'll take it further. So that's really all it is this week, guys. And again, thank you for joining me. Enjoy the process. Enjoy your painting time, guys. It's your time, and you deserve you time as much as anybody else does. You time. There we go again. You've got me on this one. So until next week, guys, I shall love you and leave you. I shall post this, put your versions on, anything to do with sheep, use anything. Just put it on. Let's have a little look. Let's share the love of loose watercolours. So take care. Have a great week, and take care of yourself and be kind to everyone else. See you again very, very soon.